timely topics.
Welcome to The Erich Show, featuring your hosts, Javvad Malik and Eric Krohn. Timely topics, poorly presented.
Yes. So a lot of you probably have been at RSA, are returning from RSA, or have been covering the RSA news or catching up with it, feeling a sense of FOMO over the last week. And speaking of FOMO, Eric, how are you doing?
That's nice. That's a way to start this. No, I really am feeling a bit of FOMO, honestly. And yeah, thank you for muting and doing other things while we're trying to do our show. I really appreciate your focus here, man. That's good.
Sorry, were you talking to me?
Yeah. Truth is, though, actually, I have been suffering a bit of FOMO about RSA. And it's one of these things I always do. Tell me if you do this too. There's a big conference and you're like, I'm so glad I'm not going to that thing because they're so exhausting. And oh my God, it's brutal and all the time and all the peopling. And then when it's going on, you're like, I want to be there.
That's exactly. And you know what it really hit me the most? I think JJ Manila, she posted something on LinkedIn. I saw she was like, "Oh, tomorrow morning." When she posted, tomorrow morning is the cirrhosis recovery breakfast, and that's always like that. And the bloggers meetup is always
the bloggers meetup is what I saw, and I was just like, man,
it's always my favorite things. And you're right. It's always like, oh, the peopling and this and the other. But then also like at RSA in particular, when it's over, there's a bit of like that. I wouldn't call it sadness, but there's that like kind of like lull that comes up, that low point that comes after it, because you've been getting so hard for 3-4 days, and then it's like, oh, now I'm flying home. And it's
sometimes you even fly home late because you're nearly dying in a hotel room and somebody has to bring you food and beverage. And
that was last year. That was just like, oh, I cannot believe.
That was great, man. I just like threw the food in towards you. I'm like, I am not coming in that room, man.
It was like the Stanford prison experiment all over again. You're like the guard, just like, step away from the door, step away. Do not cough at me. Do not even look at me.
No, it was very, I felt bad for you, man, because honestly, one of my biggest fears in life is getting sick and having to do one of those long haul flights. And you're talking like San Francisco to London, dude. That's bad when you're feeling well. So man, oh man. But speaking of shows, actually, let's take a few minutes to talk here because there's a lot of stuff coming up, man. And like InfoSec Europe, we're going to be there in London. I'm going to be there to see you in London. That's going to be fantastic. That's first week of June, I think.
It is.
Right. So, I don't know about you, man. I'm about to hit the road a lot. It'll be interesting to see when I'm going to be able to do the show. I might be doing it from an airport at some point in time, honestly, because I've got this weekend and beginning of next week is MSP GeekCon, and then it's going to be followed afterwards by Hack Space Con, which is at the Kennedy Space Center here in Florida, which is super cool, man. It's an awesome venue. And then after that, I get back. I've got like a day, and then there's B-Sides Tampa. And then I'm going to be heading to Germany actually for a week before I go to London. And then after London is Gartner. So is yours looking like that? You've got a website,
don't you? Why don't you publish all your activities on there so that your fans can follow you?
I should do that. And I did put a LinkedIn post with all that kind of stuff in it.
A bit like someone like has that where, they have all the...
For example...
Yeah,
is that like a widget? Is that a widget you use? Because that's kind of cool. I like that.
It's not a widget. It's a template on WordPress. It's a WordPress page template. You have to manually update it.
No, I like that though. That's cool.
I'll teach you how to use WordPress after this. Okay.
That would be fantastic.
Excellent. Anyway, let's jump straight into it. Microsoft fixes an Exchange Online bug. A bug that flagged Gmail emails as spam.
Undocumented feature. I'm sure they were right on top of that and rushing to fix that too, right?
It's resolved an issue with its machine learning model.
Oh, so no.
This is like the dog ate my homework.
Right.
Kind of excuse. It's like, it was some machine. It wasn't it a few weeks ago when we covered it where it was there was an update file. It was flagging as malicious, and it was bricking the machines as a result, and what have you. And they were like, "Oh no, it was AI." And then like three sets of eyes looked over it, and they all said it was okay.
AI is the new intern, man.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. And it's partially because we don't know why it does the things it does a lot of times.
Yeah.
But yeah, AI is super useful. And I don't know, have you tried on ChatGPT? There's a new deep research function on there. And what's really cool about it is you tell it what you want, and it goes out, and on the sidebar, it's telling you why it's making the choices it's doing and where it's going to get this information and putting it together. It actually steps you through what it's doing. And I thought that was really kind of cool and very
good. No, I said very good. That's I wasn't cutting you off. I was just in agreement.
No.
You just suddenly went really quiet. Wow, that's awkward. Okay, so Harrods is the latest UK retailer to fall victim to a cyber attack in recent days. So there's like a spate of like big retailers. So Marks and Spencer's got some issues, and they took some systems offline. Some gift cards weren't working. Some vouchers. Some point of sale terminals. It's just very. I don't have. There's not a ton of detail. The Co-op. They also had issues, and they were taking some systems offline, and similarly with Harrods. And so no one really knows if it's a same group attacking them all, or whether they all share a same third-party supplier that's maybe causing it.
Are these all UK based?
Yes.
Interesting. There's been some other things that happened over there too that initially I was kind of like, this has all the markings of like a ransomware attack. They had the big issue with the airlines like a week or so ago, where they were just like, everybody stay home, and everything was down. It was including a lot of things like trains and stuff like this. So it was a question there too. And then Spain started losing power and all that kind of crazy stuff. And so it was like, I don't know about you, man. The first thing I think of is, it's a ransomware event. Or it's possibly a ransomware event.
It could be even worse. It could be Russia stepping up information warfare, or spreading it across Europe, or whatever. There's a lot of moving parts everywhere, so don't really know yet. It's just
either way. Yeah, either way though, if you look at it from the standpoint of if your system can be taken down that widespread that easily, you have some architecture problems with your system.
Yeah, but it's not been a complete takedown. It's just been certain systems and certain things. So it's not like the whole stores are shut down. So
I'm talking about like the electricity.
Oh, right.
and stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. Greetings and salutations, gentlemen.
Wow,
isn't that what Charlotte said in Charlotte's Web? Wasn't that how she started off? Greetings and salutations, pig. I think he called us
I've not
pig
seen
in a
Charlotte's
roundabout
Web
way.
or not read the book, so I don't know.
You've not read the book? Oh my gosh.
Okay, so largest DDoS attack of 25 hit an online betting organizer with 1 terabytes per second brute force.
Terabits.
What did I say?
Terabytes. That's terabits.
Yeah.
That's still holy crap. Like that is a lot of stuff. Krebs is over there going, man, they didn't hit me that hard.
No.
But can you imagine though, like a betting organization? There's not a lot of, there are a lot of organizations that timing is critical, but this is one of those that it's super ultra damn critical. Like this is going to cost them every minute they're down. So this is, pretty brutal. And during the championships there,
Yep. During sporting events, and one of the big challenges is now that a lot of sporting, I mean, even like gambling or betting aside, majority of our services are now streaming, so they're not like coming through an antenna on the roof, or something. So like we saw, when was it, when Netflix, I think, done the Tyson Logan Paul fight?
Oh yeah, how horrible that went for him.
And it was like glitching for so many people and what have you. So
it's so funny how this is all kind of turned around from, and I've heard other people talk about it too. Okay, in the old days, we used to get our TV over the air, and then we would end up doing some streaming on top, or if you did cable, you got all that stuff. But then people broke away and they're like, I'm going to go over the air and stream some stuff to save money. And now by the time you stream all the crap that you need to see all the stuff that you need, you're spending more than when you used to have cable. It's ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah.
So what's James said? Yesterday, I dropped my Scrabble game in the road. Someone turned to me and said, "What's the word on the street?" Badoom.
Yeah, that's a badoom, all right.
Yeah. So speaking of badoom, Iran repelled
yeah.
large cyber attack on Sunday.
Dude, I really need coffee today. I'm not holding together very well.
So the head of their infrastructure communications company said that, after a powerful explosion damaged its most important container port, and another round of talks with the US over Tehran's disputed nuclear program, one of the most widespread and complex cyber attacks against the country's infrastructure was identified, and preventative measures were taken. Without giving more detail.
So honestly, this almost reads like a PR campaign from Iran saying, look at how cool we are. But, I always wonder about the...
This is no different from any other PR response you get from anyone. It's like, you see the same stuff from the US, from the UK, from Ukraine, from Russia. It's standard
we
wording.
Stopped it all. We
identified this. And
do you remember? Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's normally just, no one hardly gives out the details that are needed to verify or not. But it's a good way of saying, and this is why now we're going to launch an attack on so-and-so because they've attacked us first.
Yeah. No, I always think of the minister of misinformation during the Iraq war over here, There are no infidels in the area while there's like tanks rolling down the street behind us.
We've got complete air supremacy and the airport.
It is. It's total PR, man. But you know what it does make me think of though? So here in the US, I'm in the US. We always think like, oh, we're always being attacked. It's always us being attacked. But if I had to think about it, I'll bet we have some offensive measures as well, more than Stuxnet. Like,
really? You think?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe. And so we never actually step back and think about that this is something that happens globally on all fronts. And I think every nation does it. I think, the UK does it. We do it. There's possibly someone in Ireland that does it. Just in general, you know what I'm saying? Like this is the norm in the world today, is these cyber attacks. It's the new whatever. And we all shake hands and look at each other friendly in the face, think about China, our relations with China for a lot of countries. We're shaking hands. We're saying, hey, how's it going? Up until recently, we were like, hey, let's work together and import a bunch of stuff. And in the meantime, we're all like trying to blast each other in the background with cyber attacks. It's an interesting time we live in.
It is. And I know like a few weeks ago, China released something. They said that, they've caught NSA, or they were claiming like some NSA members were disrupting something or another there. And they identified several people or what have you. And then there was a lot of commentary saying, oh, look at them. They're just like making stuff up and what have you. But are they really? It's like, this happens. I mean, like you said, I'll tell you what else happens. And it's something I saw on a post about from RSA, is that there's hundreds of companies that are coming forward or just talking about how they've inadvertently hired North Korean workers.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yes. And there was a panel at RSA, and there was someone there who said, there's one question you can ask that will protect you from North Korean workers.
Do you believe that?
One. I do.
Okay, what's the
And it
question?
said something to the effect of, how fat is Kim Jong-un? And
Oh, that's awesome.
and because they're not allowed to say anything against the supreme leader, even
Right.
remotely like disparaging, they will just terminate the call.
Oh, hell, I love that. Who said that? Adam Myers?
Adam Myers,
from
that's right.
Okay. Brilliant, man. I got to give kudos to Adam Myers for that. That's actually really funny, but
Yeah.
useful information at the same time.
Yes. Yes, it is. It is.
Can you imagine on the other side of that? The guy's like,
Yeah.
The fact is, and we've talked about it here because of what happened with KnowBe4 and the North Korean worker. This happens so much more than a lot of people realize or realized. I think it's getting a lot more air now. But holy cow, there are a lot of these folks working in these organizations, earning money for the regime, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's wild, all the stories I'm starting to see come out about this.
Yeah. So, now we just got to try like the question, how fat is Eric Krone?